Chapter 1871. One had to know that the thunder beast was known for its speed among the thunder's sacred beasts. Even the thunder beast was no match for it in this aspect. The thunder beast's most powerful aspect was its berserk state and its defensive power. However, in terms of speed, the thunder beast was the strongest among all the thunder's sacred beasts. At this moment, the thunder beast's figure was constantly galloping in the main hall. Wherever it passed, it brought with it the power of lightning. The screams from the guests became even more intense. With the thunder beast's speed and the power of lightning, the guests who were slightly weaker might be injured or even killed if they were not careful. Just as the guests were screaming, the people from the beast-taming valley received the order to surround the beast. They had received the order from the beast-taming king Guguju to not show any mercy. Naturally, they were ruthless. With this, the thunder beast's attack was blocked. At the same time, it also received a large portion of the attacks and started to get injured. Feeling that these people's attacks were not as gentle as before, the berserk thunder beast instinctively flew out of the main hall. Seeing this, the beast-taming king Guguju quickly ordered, once the thunder beast leaves the main hall, begin to surround and capture it. Don't kill it. Previously, they were afraid that the thunder beast would stay in the main hall and cause casualties to the guests. Now that it took the initiative to rush out of the main hall, the beast-taming king Guguju naturally did not want to kill it. This thunder beast was specially found for Fong Jingyu. Its cultivation level was at the Saint King realm. Among the thunder beasts of the same level, it was the strongest. Once it was killed, it meant that Fong Jingyu would have to settle for the second best in contract with an even weaker monster beast. Otherwise, she would have to find a better monster beast in the future to contract with. However, the land of the fallen immortals was about to open. If Fong Jingyu wanted to enter, she had to increase her strength. Otherwise, it would be too disadvantageous. Therefore, she definitely had to contract with it. As such, it was best not to kill the thunderous beast. The people from the beast-taming valley naturally accepted the order. They chased the thunder beast out of the main hall. The latter took advantage of the many guests in the main hall to quickly rush out of the main hall. With bloodshot eyes, it dashed toward the backyard. Luo Qingtong and Yunqi happened to be on this road. They had just come out of the garden. Hearing the commotion in the main hall, Zhang Xian didn't intend to get involved, so he didn't rush over. However, who would have thought that after the thunderous beast saw that there were few people in the backyard, it rushed out of the main hall and headed straight for them. Boom! The gigantic beast seemed to have descended from the sky and charged straight at them. His blood-red eyes were filled with ruthlessness and murderous intent. It rushed toward Luo Qingtong and Yunqi. Behind it was a group of people from the beast-taming king valley. Catch it! Their voices were cold and harsh. They clearly saw Yunqi and Luo Qingtong in front of them, but they simply ignored them. In the eyes of these beast-tamer king's valley elders, the thunder beast's life was much more important than Luo Qingtong and Yunqi. They were just two disciples. If they died, so be it. Not to mention that Luo Qingtong and Yunqi were just two apprentices. Even if they were official disciples, they wouldn't care. The group of people just shouted and rushed over. They didn't have the slightest intention to kill the thunder beast. Chapter 1872. Panic appeared on Yunqi's face. Junior sister Tong. She nervously and fearfully grasped Luo Qingtong's clothes. The two of them were no match for the rushing thunder beast at all. In front of this extremely ferocious and terrifying rushing thunder beast, they didn't even have the slightest chance to escape. Yunqi thought and closed her eyes in despair, not daring to look at the scene in front of her. Luo Qingtong looked at the rushing thunder beast and the group of people from beast-taming king's valley behind it, and her eyes narrowed slightly. At this time, she couldn't use her strength. Then she could only, Qianjia, it's up to you. Luo Qingtong looked at Yi Qianxian in her arms. Although the latter couldn't use his human strength in the form of a little fox, his physical defense and attack power were still there. Luo Qingtong naturally had a way to let him deal with this rushing thunder beast without being injured, and without being noticed by the people from beast-taming King's Valley. Swish! Luo Qingtong directly released the aura of the 9-layered exquisite pagoda in her mind. With a bang, the rushing thunder beast that had rushed in front of her instantly stopped in its tracks. Suppress. After the aura of the 9-layered exquisite pagoda suppressed the rushing thunder beast, Yi Qianxian's figure swept up in an instant and rushed in front of the rushing thunder beast. Four extremely sharp little claws popped out of the soft, fan-like meaty pads. Yi Qianxian waved its front claws and directly cut the trachea of the rushing thunder beast's neck. The powerful defense of a Saint King realm monster beast and the terrifying lightning surrounding the rushing thunder beast had no effect on Yi Qianxian's claws at all. The cute and petite little fox directly pierced its neck with its claws. Bang! A cloud of blood suddenly exploded in midair. The rushing thunder beast wailed and fell in front of Luo Qingtong and Yun Shi. The two hugged each other and trembled. In Bao. Luo Qingtong pretended to be scared and pleasantly surprised. She directly ran over and carried the little fox out. The latter was covered in blood. After shaking off all the blood on its body, it threw itself into Luo Qingtong's arms. Luo Qingtong hugged it and kissed it, looking excited and happy. But in private, she smiled and whispered in the little fox's ear, "Qianjia, you're so cool." Yi Qianren's ears fluttered due to the instinct of a young fox. It cast a sidelong glance at her with a pair of cute, round fox eyes. Its eyes were full of confusion. What did she mean by extremely handsome? But the thunder beast's neck really did explode. It's Yinbao's Yinbao. He was naturally powerful, and Luo Qingtong would know that he was even more powerful in the future. At this time, the group from beast-taming King's Valley arrived. When they saw the lifeless rushing thunder beast lying on the ground, their faces were filled with shock. One of the beast-taming King Valley's elders flew forward to check the wounds on the rushing lightning beast. That little fox killed it. They looked at the soft and cuddly little fox in Luo Qingtong's arms. It looked like a pampered little fox of a rich family. This little fox actually killed the rushing thunder beast. Everyone looked at the little fox's petite figure with a strange expression. They didn't expect this little fox to be so powerful. What's going on? Chapter 1873. They were in the main hall dealing with the guests and calming them down. With the addition of a Saint King realm thunder beast, they didn't need to do anything. The people from beast-taming Valley were more than enough to capture it. But who would have thought that after they were done dealing with the matter, they would rush over to see the corpse of the thunder beast? Beast-taming King Gu Guzhu was instantly enraged. His gaze swept across the scene. Who did this? He didn't even have time to check the wounds on the thunder beast's body. He thought that the people from beast-taming Valley were too heavy-handed and killed the thunder beast. He had clearly ordered that the thunder beast couldn't die. Are you ignoring my orders? He was enraged. The Supreme Elder and Fong Jingyu didn't look too good either. Especially Fong Jingyu. Because of the thunder beast's madness, her birthday banquet had been ruined. Fortunately, when she found out that the thunder beast didn't have to die, she could save some face. But she didn't expect that the thunder beast would be killed in the end. She looked at the scene angrily. At this moment, the elders of beast-taming Valley hurriedly said, "Valley Master, it wasn't us who killed it. It was this little fox." As they spoke, they raised their hands and pointed at Yi Qianxian and Luo Qingtong's arms. The little silver fox was lying in Luo Qingtong's arms. It was furry, round, and very cute. It had a small pink nose and pointed, flapping ears. No matter how one looked at it, it looked like a little pet to be admired. This little fox actually killed the rushing thunder beast. Beast-taming King Guguju and the others were very surprised. But there were so many people here, and everyone was saying the same thing. It couldn't be fake. The Supreme Elder's figure appeared in front of the thunder beast. He glanced at the wound on the beast's neck and immediately said, "Valley Master, it was indeed killed by that little fox." The claw mark was too unique. It was small and sharp. It was almost a scratch on the thunder beast's skin. What was more surprising was the accuracy of the attack. One had to know that the rushing thunder beast's speed was extremely fast. This little fox actually made it suffer this blow without being able to put up any resistance? This was simply inconceivable. The Great Elder looked at the silver fox in Luo Qingtong's arms. What kind of demonic beast was this? It looked harmless, but it was actually so powerful. Beast Tamer King Guguju and Fang Jingyu also looked at the silver fox in Luo Qingtong's arms. The moment she saw the silver fox, Fang Jingyu's eyes lit up. What a beautiful little silver fox. Fang Jingyu looked at the little silver fox. The little guy's posture was noble and elegant. He lay lazily in Luo Qingtong's arms, looking very petite and cute. However, the rushing thunder beast lying on the ground proved how powerful it was. She was not as soft and harmless as she looked. She wanted this silver fox. This thought flashed across Fang Jingyu's mind. The rushing thunder beast was dead. This birthday banquet was tantamount to losing her chance to contract a demonic beast. Unless Beast Tamer King Guguju found another demonic beast for her. However, this rushing thunder beast was already a thunder-type demonic beast that had been carefully selected. Even if she found another demonic beast, it would not be stronger. It would only be weaker. But this silver fox was different. By killing this thunder beast, it had already proved that it was stronger than the thunder beast. Chapter 1874. Fang Jingyu felt that even if it wasn't a lightning-type beast, she would still be able to accept it. Only by bringing this silver fox out would she be able to reveal her identity. Which girl wouldn't want such a cute pet by her side? Domineering and cute. This little silver fox fit all of Fang Jingyu's requirements. Not to mention, it was still young. When it grew up, its strength would be even more tyrannical. Fang Jingyu's heart was instantly moved. Her gaze was glued to Yin Bao, who was transformed by Yi Qianren. Feeling her gaze, Luo Qingtong's eyes narrowed slightly, a cold light flashing in her eyes. What? The little princess of beast-taming King Valley, Miss Jingyu, had taken a liking to Silver Bao. Luo Qingtong's gaze was slightly cold. Beast-taming King Guguju also frowned at Yi Qianxin's Silver Bao. This little fox had actually killed the thunder beast. Then there was no other way. Luo Qingtong and the others had obviously retaliated in self-defense. Beast-taming King Guguju couldn't blame them. Especially in front of so many people. Seeing the guests rushing over, Beast-taming King Guguju furrowed his brows and was about to speak. At this moment, Fang Jingyu's voice rang out. You killed my contracted beast. How are you going to compensate me? Hearing this, everyone looked at Fang Jingyu with a strange expression. What she said didn't seem right. It was clearly the thunder beast that had attacked Luo Qingtong and the others, and the latter had killed it to save their own lives. Why did she make it sound like Luo Qingtong and the others had intentionally killed her thunder beast? According to her, Luo Qingtong and the others deserved to stand there and wait for death. What kind of logic was this? Someone noticed Fang Jingyu's gaze on the silver fox and understood what was going on. It turned out that she had taken a liking to the girl's silver fox. The group of people felt some contempt in their hearts. But when they remembered that this was beast-taming King Valley's territory, they didn't say anything. Miss Jingyu. What do you mean? I don't understand. Hearing Fang Jingyu's words, Luo Qingtong's eyes flashed. She sneered in her heart, sure enough, they're here. She stared blankly in Fong Jingyu's direction. Her face was full of confusion and her voice was timid. She really didn't seem to understand what Fong Jingyu meant. Looking at the expression on her face, everyone around her shook their heads. It looked like she was still a naive girl. She didn't know Fong Jingyu had taken a fancy to the silver fox in her arms. Fong Jingyu was the daughter of the beast tamer king, Gu Guzhu. Her silver fox was most likely going to be lost. Fong Jingyu retorted coldly, "You killed my contract beast, didn't you? Today is my birthday. Originally, I was going to form a contract with a demonic beast during my birthday party so that it would be convenient for me to go to the land of the deceased immortals. Now you've killed my contract beast. Tell me, what should I do?" Hearing this, Luo Qingtong's expression became even more confused. But it wanted to kill us first. That's why we fought back. Miss Jingyu, are you saying that you want us to stand there and die without fighting back? Fong Jingyu's expression darkened the moment she said those words. Although this was what she meant, Luo Qingtong said it so bluntly. She felt a little embarrassed. When did I say that? Chapter 1875. This rushing thunder beast attacked you. You could have shown mercy, but why did you have to kill it? Now that I don't have a contracted beast, shouldn't you be responsible? As soon as Fong Jingyu said this, everyone's expression changed. What a strange thing to say. Luo Qingtong and Yun Shi were only newly recruited trainees. With their abilities, they were not even a match for this thunder beast, let alone showing mercy to it, okay? If it had been that little silver fox, Luo Qingtong and Yun Shi would have become corpses lying on the ground. Under such circumstances, Fong Jingyu actually asked them to show mercy to this rushing thunder beast, and even said that they were too heavy-handed. This excuse was simply too shameless. Because this was the Beast Tamer Valley, and the Valley Master and the others were present, no one dared to say anything. But in their hearts, they were cursing madly. Quite disdainful. Luo Qingtong's eyes were cold. She looked at Fong Jingyu and asked weakly, "Then, miss, you mean, first, give me the little fox in your arms. I need a demonic beast to contract with, so that I can participate in this trip to the fallen immortal land. As for you, since you didn't do it on purpose, I will ask Father to arrange another tyrannical demonic beast for you. Don't worry, that demonic beast won't be inferior to this little fox. When the time comes, I can ask Father to accept you as a disciple, and let you become a beast tamer. How about it?" Fong Jingyu's words were very shameless. She was so high and mighty that it was as if her plundering was a gift to Luo Qingtong. Not to mention other things, since Luo Qingtong could become an apprentice, it meant that she had the talent to become a beast tamer. Not to mention that she could control the little silver fox in her arms. Obviously, becoming a beast tamer in the future was something that was inevitable. With such talent, even if Fong Jingyu didn't plead for her, she would be the target of all the disciples of the elders. The beast tamer King Gu Guzhu and the others were no exception. Not to mention, the silver fox and Luo Qingtong had grown up together. Their teamwork would be even better in the future. This little fox was still young. When it grew up in the future, how could its strength be compared to other demonic beasts? Fong Jingyu wanted to steal Luo Qingtong's silver fox, but she made it sound as if she had given Luo Qingtong a great gift. When everyone heard these words, they felt extremely strange in their hearts. Fong Jingyu was simply trying to take advantage of the innocent and naive girl in front of her. She wanted to benefit from it and make the girl feel grateful, right? If that young girl was really bewitched by her words and voluntarily handed over the little fox, then the matter of Fong Jingyu snatching a disciple's demonic beast would be cleared. Not only that, but it also made Luo Qingtong even more grateful to the beast-taming King Valley. In the future, he would be even more loyal to the beast-taming King Valley. Needless to say, even though this move was shameless, it was still beneficial for Fang Jingyu and the beast-taming King Valley. This Fang Jingyu was quite scheming. It was a pity for this young girl. Everyone looked at Luo Qingtong's innocent and naive face and sighed in their hearts. How could this young girl possibly win against Fang Jingyu? He was afraid that he would have to obediently offer up the silver fox in his arms. Chapter 1876. Thank you, Miss Jingyu, for being lenient with me. She looked at Fang Jingyu with a sincere expression, as if she was very touched by Fang Jingyu's words. However, the words, lenient with me, were spoken with a heavy tone, perhaps because she was too emotional or for some other reason. It sounded like she was mocking Fang Jingyu for some reason. Before anyone could think further, Luo Qingtong continued, it's just that Yin Bao and I have depended on each other since we were young. I treat it like family, so I definitely can't lose it. But it's all right, she smiled at Fang Jingyu and said innocently, Miss Jingyu is so nice. You actually didn't pursue what happened just now. Yin Bao and I thank you. As for the demon beast that's stronger than Yin Bao, you can keep it for yourself, miss. We did such a wrong thing, so we don't dare to receive Miss's favor. I'll just be with Yin Bao. In the future, I'll definitely cultivate by the Valley Master's side and live up to Miss's expectations. As she spoke, her expression became more serious and grateful. Fang Jingyu was stunned when she heard this. Wait. She took a deep breath and looked at the young girl standing in front of her, thanking her happily. She couldn't react for a moment. What did you say? When did I say that I wouldn't pursue the matter? And she wanted to cultivate by her father's side and live up to her expectations. What the hell did she mean? Fang Jingyu couldn't wrap her head around it. Luo Qingtong looked at her with a face full of shock and confusion. Didn't you say so, miss? Seeing that we didn't do it on purpose, you can ask the Valley Master to find me a better demon beast. You can even ask the Valley Master to take me in as his disciple so that I can become a beast tamer in the future. But I only want Yin Bao. Luo Qingtong said calmly, so there's no need for the demon beast. Miss, you can keep it for yourself. I only want to become the Valley Master's disciple. After all, Miss has been so good to us and is so magnanimous. I can't push my luck. After Luo Qingtong finished speaking, Fang Jingyu was so angry that she couldn't speak. She couldn't push her luck. How was she not pushing her luck? She was simply advancing. What I'm saying is that if you give this little fox to me, I can ask my father to find you a better demonic beast and accept you as my disciple. Fang Jingyu gritted her teeth and said, are you misunderstanding something? I know. Luo Qingtong looked at her and nodded. But didn't I tell you? Silver Bao is my family. I can't lose him. So, miss, I don't want the demonic beast that you exchanged with me. As for the Valley Master's teachings, I'll accept them. I won't let you down in the future. Luo Qingtong looked at Fang Jingtan with a serious expression. Miss, did I say anything wrong? Fang Jingyu choked on her words the moment they left her mouth. Did Luo Qingtong say anything wrong? No. She wanted him to give her the little fox, and then she would arrange a better demonic beast for him and her father to teach him. If Luo Qingtong was not willing, then she did not want the demonic beast. She only wanted the Valley Master's guidance. She wanted to live up to her expectations. What could she say? Logically speaking, there was no problem at all. But Fang Jingyu's original intention was to get Luo Qingtong to give her the little fox. Only then could she get these things. Her original intention was to give alms and clear her name. But Luo Qingtong interpreted it as an equivalent exchange. Chapter 1877. No way. Fang Jingyu took a deep breath and realized that she had accidentally fallen into a trap. If she had known earlier, she wouldn't have tried to show her magnanimity by telling Luo Qingtong, since they didn't do it on purpose. Now, her own words had turned the tables on her. Fang Jingyu stood there and took a few deep breaths before she was able to calm the resentment in her heart. What if I insist on taking that little fox in your arms? She looked coldly at Luo Qingtong. She couldn't control the emotions in her eyes. Originally, she had only offered to compensate Luo Qingtong for the sake of her and beast-taming King Valley's reputation. She didn't think that Luo Qingtong would use it against her. Fang Jingyu's eyes were cold. She didn't care if Luo Qingtong was really innocent or not. But this little fox, she must have it. Thinking of this, Fang Jingyu suddenly took a step forward. Seeing this, Luo Qingtong's eyes flashed with a cold light, mocking her. You want to snatch it by force? Miss, you must be joking, right? She looked in Fang Jingyu's direction with a shocked expression, then hugged the little silver fox tightly in her arms and said nervously, Miss, you're such a good person. You didn't even pursue the matter of us killing the thunder beast. Why would you snatch my silver treasure? She turned to beast-taming King Guguju and the others and said, Valley Master, I don't want to be your disciple, and I don't want the credit for exposing the celestial palace. Can you just let silver treasure stay by my side? I can't live without it. When Luo Qingtong said this, beast-taming King Guguju and the others' expressions froze. Jingyu. He called out to Fang Jingyu and swept his gaze across the crowd of onlookers. There were too many people here. If Luo Qingtong was just an ordinary apprentice, it would have been fine. But if he had stolen her silver fox, then so be it. No one would say anything about it. However, it just so happened that Luo Qingtong stood up and exposed the Celestial Palace's conspiracy. To the beast-taming King Valley, she had made a contribution. At this time, if Fang Jingyu were to snatch away her little fox, it would only cause others to look down on her, and the other disciples of the beast-taming King's Valley would be bitterly disappointed. After all, if they couldn't obtain protection even if they made contributions, then who would stand out when the sect was in trouble in the future? Moreover, if this matter were to spread out, Fang Jingyu and the beast-taming King's Valley's reputation would be tarnished. Plundering by force and plundering meritorious officials were two different things. The former would only show that Luo Qingtong was incompetent, while the beast-taming King Valley's tyranny would only increase their prestige. However, the latter would be considered ungrateful, and would be despised by others. With that thought in mind, the beast-tamer King Guguju had no choice but to speak up to stop Fang Jingyu. Although he really wanted Fang Jingyu to get the silver fox, he didn't want her to. Father. Being stopped by the beast-tamer King Guguju, Fang Jingyu's face was full of unwillingness. However, she also knew that at this time, she couldn't force it. This woman really knew how to use a chicken feather as an arrow. Didn't she just expose the Celestial Palace's conspiracy? She actually used this as a threat to make him unable to touch her. Fang Jingyu gritted her teeth. She knew that she had to solve this problem today. Otherwise, in front of so many people, these guests who came to attend the banquet would all know that she wanted to snatch Luo Qingtong's little fox. This way, even if she managed to snatch the little fox behind everyone's backs, she would still be able to do so. Everyone also knew what was going on. Her reputation would still be bad if word got out. Chapter 1878. At this time, Fang Jingyu regretted it. If she had known, she wouldn't have been so impulsive. She was angered by this woman's words. If she hadn't fallen into her trap, she wouldn't have lost her mind and tried to snatch it in front of so many people. Wouldn't it be better to wait until they left and then do it herself? Who would know what she did to Luo Qingtong? Thinking of this, Fang Jingyu's heart was vexed. She frowned and looked at Luo Qingtong, saying coldly, "Who said I wanted to snatch your little fox?" As the daughter of the beast-tamer king, Guguju, what kind of demon beast can't I want? Why would I snatch your little fox? I just saw that you just made a contribution, and this little fox's strength isn't weak, so I thought of letting you let me contract it. At the same time, I'm giving you a chance. Since you're not willing, then forget it." After saying that, she turned and prepared to leave. Luo Qingtong looked at her back as she left, ignoring the gazes of others. She hugged Yi Qianxian and prepared to leave. She didn't intend to stay in the Beast Tamer King's Valley for long. If these people wanted to make things difficult for her, then they could just come. It would be best if they wanted to help Fang Jingyu vent her anger and transfer her to the side of the higher-ups. This way, she would have more opportunities to inquire about the book. Luo Qingtong couldn't ask for more. She hugged the little silver fox that Yi Qianren had transformed into and prepared to leave. At this moment, she suddenly felt a sharp mental strength attack her. Or rather, it attacked Yi Qianxian in her arms. It was Fang Jingyu's mental strength. Luo Qingtong instantly sensed the source of this mental strength, and a bloody light flashed in her eyes. Since she couldn't do it openly, she decided to do it secretly. No wonder she left so decisively. Luo Qingtong looked at Fang Jingyu's face and was very unwilling. She originally thought that she would have to fight with her for a while. She had already thought of how to deal with her. Unexpectedly, the other party suddenly retreated. Luo Qingtong was a little surprised. So he was waiting for her here. Luo Qingtong's expression was calm when she sensed the mental power piercing into Yi Qianxian's mind. She was indescribably pleased, and her eyebrows didn't even twitch. "You want to force Yi Qianxian into a contract?" First of all, Yi Qianxian was not a real demon beast. Even if it was, with its strength, would Fang Jingyu want to force a contract with it? What a joke! Luo Qingtong didn't even pay attention to this spiritual force, as if she didn't notice it at all. She just continued walking forward with Yi Qianxian in her arms. Behind her, the beast tamer King Gu Guzhu and the others also felt this mental energy, and their expressions changed. Fang Jingyu cultivated the beast-taming King Valley's strongest beast-taming art. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to detect this mental strength she sent out. Even the majority of the people in the Beast Tamer King Valley couldn't detect it. Under such circumstances, only the upper echelons of the Beast Taming King Valley could sense the spiritual force she emitted. They felt the mental strength rushing towards Yi Qianxian, as if it wanted to force a contract with the little fox. Although the higher-ups of the Beast Tamer King Valley were a little surprised, they didn't say anything. Fang Jingyu's method wasn't very glorious. But the higher-ups of the Beast Tamer King Valley had watched her grow up, and she was the daughter of the Valley Master. Everyone naturally stood on her side. Chapter 1879. As for Luo Qingtong, she was just an ordinary disciple. Although she had some talent, in their eyes, she couldn't compare to Fang Jingyu. Since the other party wanted the little fox so badly, as long as it wasn't discovered by outsiders, the beast-taming King's Valley would lose face and they would turn a blind eye to it. The upper echelons of beast-taming Valley didn't say anything, only watching as the spiritual force attacked Yi Qianxian. As for Fang Jingyu, who had turned around and pretended to leave, she was actually using the aura of the beast-taming art that she cultivated to forcefully contract Yi Qianming. A smug smile appeared on her face. Luo Qingtong thought that she could stop her by using a chicken feather as an arrow. In reality, the entire beast-taming valley was on her side. As long as she could successfully contract that little fox and make it run to her, who would dare say that she snatched the other party's little fox? As for Luo Qingtong, she wouldn't have anything to say. When the time came, she'd just have to watch her little fox stay by her side and see how heartbroken she'd be. Thinking of this, Fang Jingyu sneered. Her spiritual force pierced into Yi Qianxian's mind. Sensing the spiritual force entering his mind, Yi Qianxian's face turned cold and he snorted. Boom! In its mind, an extremely violent and vast mental energy, like a landslide or a tsunami, suddenly burst out. It immediately followed the mental energy that had pierced into its mind and blasted out. In an instant. Ah! In the sky above Beast Taming Valley, a sharp cry rang out. Fong Jingyu screamed as she hugged her head, rolling violently on the ground. Large pools of blood flowed out of her eyes, nose, and ears, soaking the ground. It was an indescribable ghastly sight. What's going on? The onlookers were shocked. They watched as Fong Jingyu turned around and left. Then, she fell to the ground and ended up in her current miserable state. Who dared to attack Fong Jingyu in Beast Taming Valley? And in front of Beast Taming King Gu Guju and the others? Were none of them aware of it? Everyone's faces were filled with astonishment. The expressions of Beast Tamer King Gu Guju and the others changed drastically. Jingyu. They rushed to Fong Jingyu's side and helped her up. My mental strength has been completely crushed. Even his foundation has been destroyed. After the Supreme Elder examined Fong Jingyu's body, his expression turned grim. Fong Jingyu's mental strength had been completely destroyed. Putting everything else aside, it would be impossible for her to become a beast tamer again, and it would be impossible for her to form a contract with another demonic beast. Bastard! The beast tamer King Gu Guju was furious. He angrily looked in the direction of Luo Qingtong and abruptly flicked his sleeves, shouting sternly, "Stop her for me." Fong Jingyu had been forced to contract with the Silver Fox, so this incident must have had something to do with him. Beast Tamer King Gu Guju's voice rang out. Instantly, everyone's expression became even more shocked. What was going on? How did this have anything to do with Luo Qingtong? Some of the smarter ones had already guessed the general truth of the matter. It seemed that Fong Jingyu was unwilling to give up and wanted to make a move on that girl, and even the Silver Fox, but an accident happened. Everyone recalled the tyrannical beast taming art in Beast Taming Valley. Chapter 1880. For this reason, the hierarchy in Beast Taming Valley was very strict. The beast taming art that the Beast Taming King Valley master and the others cultivated was different from the Beast Taming King Valley's beast taming art. It seemed that Fong Jingyu had tried to forcibly contract the Silver Fox and failed. That was why she had ended up like this. No wonder she turned around and left so decisively just now. She had been planning to secretly steal the Silver Fox, but for some unknown reason, she had suffered a backlash. While everyone was thinking this, the people from Beast Taming King Valley had already stopped Luo Qingtong, who had walked a short distance away, and brought her back. Luo Qingtong didn't resist. When Fong Jingyu made her move, she knew something like this would happen. She really didn't want to cause trouble, but if someone kept coming to seek death, what could she do? Fong Jingyu was looking for death, and she couldn't stop her. She could only deal with it as it came. If things didn't work out, then she would just leave. Next time, she would think of a way to investigate. But this was too troublesome. It wasn't easy to get some information about what happened in the past. If possible, Luo Qingtong didn't want to leave like this. Thinking of this, she looked at Beast Taming King Gu Guju and the others with surprise and vigilance. She said, "Valley Master, Elders, what are you doing? Didn't you say you wouldn't try to steal my Silver Fox again?" As she spoke, she hugged Yi Qianxian tightly. Her body was faintly trembling, and she looked very scared. But she still had the courage to argue with Gu Guju and the others. Seeing this, Beast Taming King Gu Guju and the others frowned. She wasn't the one who did this. Jingyu was just ambushed. As a beast taming master, she lost her most important mental strength. "Did you do this?" Beast Taming King Gu Guju coldly said, his cold eyes looking at Luo Qingtong. "Me?" Luo Qingtong froze, then shook her head. "How is that possible? If I had that kind of strength, I would have already killed those people who were chasing after me. And I wouldn't have caused my loved ones to die for me. As she spoke, her face was filled with grievance and disappointment. At the same time, she was a little angry. She looked at the beast tamer King Guguju and the others and pursed her lips. I know you want to help Miss Jingyu snatch my silver treasure. In any case, I can't resist you. You don't have to deliberately frame me. Just kill me and take silver treasure. Otherwise, as long as I'm alive, I'll never give silver bao away. Luo Qingtong's voice rang out. In an instant, everyone's expression changed. Was this all a show put on by beast tamer King Guguju and the others? Was Fang Jingyu really innocent? Was she just trying to slander the girl and steal the silver fox from her? If that was the case, then wouldn't beast tamer King Guguju and the others be too shameless? To deal with an apprentice disciple, especially one who had contributed greatly to the beast tamer valley, was there a need to use such dirty and disgusting methods? Even the disciples of the beast taming king valley were looking at the beast taming king valley master and the others in confusion. The latter and the others felt the strange gazes from all around them and their expressions turned ugly. At the same time, they were also very confused. Could it be that they had really wronged Luo Qingtong? But Fang Jingyu really did have an accident when she was trying to force a contract with the silver fox. Chapter 1881. Humph. Beast tamer King Guguju's face darkened as he said coldly, whether it was you or not, I'll find out once I try. As he spoke, he released his spiritual power, intending to forcefully contract Yi Qianxian in Luo Qingtong's arms. He wanted to see what was going on. Yi Qianren's eyes turned cold when she felt the attack of his mental strength. She wanted to destroy his mental strength just like how she dealt with Fang Jingyu. But at this moment, Luo Qingtong's mind flashed as she had a good idea. Perhaps this could be a blessing in disguise. Qianren, defend. Don't touch it. Luo Qingtong's voice directly entered Yi Qianxian's mind. Yi Qianren's eyes flashed as he was about to blast out the vast and powerful mental strength in his mind. He immediately withdrew the mental strength that he was about to blast out. At the same time, he firmly guarded his mind, preventing Guguju's spiritual power from entering. Beast tamer King Guguju's spiritual power lingered around the silver fox's head, but it was unable to enter, let alone forcefully contract it. Seeing this, beast tamer King Guguju's face was filled with shock. He was a supreme sage, and his spiritual power was incomparably strong. Under such circumstances, he was unable to contract the silver fox. This was simply impossible. The only explanation was that Luo Qingtong was also a beast tamer. Not only that, but her contract with the silver fox was of a very high level. That was why she was able to resist his spiritual power, preventing him from forcefully contracting it. This would explain why Fang Jingyu had suffered a backlash from forcefully contracting the silver fox. It was the same in Beast Tamer Valley. A high-level beast tamer could forcefully contract a lower-level beast tamer's contracted beast. But if a lower-level beast tamer tried to attack a higher-level beast tamer's contracted beast, he would suffer a backlash. The lower-level beast tamer's spiritual power would be destroyed in an instant. Because he was strong and had a strong spiritual power, he was fine. But Jingyu was different. She had forced herself to contract with the silver fox, which was why she had suffered a backlash. The beast tamer King Guguju thought that he had found the truth. He looked at Luo Qingtong in amazement. He didn't expect that she was also a beast tamer. Moreover, the beast tamer's secret art she practiced was obviously not ordinary. It was even better than the beast taming art that he cultivated. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to resist his forceful contract. Beast tamer King Guguju was still amazed when he suddenly heard Luo Qingtong say, "Hurry up. Didn't you want to try it?" She looked angry and stubborn. In any case, you guys are just looking for an excuse to attack me. Just find one. It doesn't matter. I can't resist anyway. As she spoke, her face was filled with indescribable cynicism and anger. Beast Tamer King Guguju looked at her expression and a thought suddenly flashed through his mind. You don't know that you're a beast tamer. He looked at Luo Qingtong and said. What? This girl was actually a beast tamer. Everyone in the surroundings was shocked. They all looked at Luo Qingtong. The people of Beast Tamer Valley were also very surprised. Especially the higher-ups of Beast Tamer Valley. Beast Tamer King Guguju's action just now was seen by them. It was obvious that the Valley Master had used his spiritual power to forcefully contract with the Silver Fox. Chapter 1882. Everyone's expression was very surprised. At this time, the Supreme Elder suddenly made a move. His spiritual power suddenly spread out from his mind and pierced towards Yi Qianxian. After hearing Luo Qingtong's words, Yi Qianxian was too lazy to pay attention to him. He only defended his mind to prevent the other party from invading it. The Supreme Elder's spiritual power lingered around him for a long time before he finally withdrew it. She is indeed a beast tamer. Moreover, the beast taming art that she cultivates is very unusual. He sent a voice transmission to the people around him. His eyes seemed to be shining as he looked at Luo Qingtong. What beast tamer? What are you talking about? Luo Qingtong frowned and looked at them in surprise. I haven't started cultivating the beast taming art yet. The expression on her face was very decent. Don't slander me so casually. I didn't steal the beast taming art of your beast taming King Valley. She looked at the beast taming King Guguju and the others with an angry expression. These people were really too much. First, they slandered her for attacking Fong Jingyu. Now, they slandered her for stealing their beast taming King Valley's beast taming art. Could they be more shameless? Luo Qingtong's expression at this moment was just like the above. Beast taming King Guguju and the Supreme Elder looked at her with a strange expression. Stealing the beast taming art of their beast taming King Valley. The beast taming art that she cultivates is obviously more advanced than theirs. What's there to steal? However, the other party really didn't seem to know that she was a beast tamer. Not only that, it seems that she didn't know anything about her own cultivation method. This is troublesome. The two of them thought so and suddenly looked at each other and frowned. According to the thoughts of the beast taming King Valley and the Supreme Elder, since Luo Qingtong was a beast tamer and cultivated such a powerful beast taming art, they naturally wanted the other party to hand over the beast taming art. However, Luo Qingtong obviously didn't know that she was a beast tamer, let alone the beast taming art. How can they make her hand it over? The two of them were very depressed. You really don't know that you're a beast tamer? The beast tamer King Guguju asked her with a solemn expression. Luo Qingtong was stunned when she heard that. She looked at the beast tamer King Guguju, then at the great elder. She pointed at herself with a shocked expression and said, "I'm really a beast tamer. Silver Bao has been so obedient to me since he was young because it's your contracted beast." Beast tamer King Guguju said. So that's the case. Luo Qingtong was in disbelief. No wonder. No wonder they wanted to kill me, she murmured, as if she had thought of something, and her eyes reddened. The Supreme Elder and the Beast Tamer King Guguju looked at each other. They roughly knew that the other party was talking about her being hunted down before. Regarding Luo Qingtong's information and experience, when she stood out in the main hall to testify against Yun Yan and the Celestial Palace, the Beast Tamer King Guguju and the Supreme Elder already knew. Now that they heard Luo Qingtong's murmur, their eyes lit up. She really did have a secret, and it was clearly related to the beast taming art she cultivated. In an instant, the two of them reached a consensus. They first comforted Luo Qingtong. Her situation was a bit special. Chapter 1883. Fortunately, they didn't go too far with the matter. There was still room to salvage the situation. Beast Tamer King Guguju and Grand Elder's expressions changed slightly as they nodded to each other. Beast Tamer King Guguju said to Luo Qingtong, "This is a misunderstanding. Jingyu is in trouble. We were anxious and accidentally wronged you. This is our fault." Beast Tamer King Guguju was very clear. Luo Qingtong's beast tamer art was more powerful than theirs. They couldn't let her know. Otherwise, she would immediately know that they had ulterior motives. Moreover, Fang Jingyu became like this because she wanted to force a contract with the Silver Fox. That was even more unspeakable. Therefore, this matter could only be an accident. They couldn't have the slightest connection with Luo Qingtong. He continued to say to Luo Qingtong, "As compensation, you will cultivate with me from now on. I will personally teach you about beast tamer art. I will let you improve your strength to the best of your ability." If he placed her by his side to guide her, even if she didn't know what cultivation method he was cultivating, he would still have the opportunity to see some clues from her cultivation and attacks, right? Beast Tamer King Guguju had this idea in mind. As he was speaking, a sharp voice suddenly rang out at this moment. "No!" Fang Jingyu had already woken up from her coma. Her face was in a sorry state. When she found out that her spiritual power had been destroyed and that she could no longer contract with demon beasts and become a beast tamer, she was about to go crazy. When she heard Beast Tamer King Guguju's words, she almost went crazy. Luo Qingtong caused her to become like this. Her father still wanted to take her as a disciple and let her be his personal teacher. He even said that her matter was just an accident. He even apologized to this slut and said that it was their fault. Fang Jingyu didn't know that the beast-taming King Guguju and the others had already found out that the beast-taming art in Luo Qingtong's body was very powerful. They had other intentions behind this arrangement. Hearing this, she almost went crazy on the spot. She screamed and crawled up from the ground. Facing the beast-tamer King Guguju, she shouted, "I don't agree. What right does she have to cultivate by your side?" Fang Jingyu still had a shred of rationality left in her. She didn't mention that she had attacked Luo Qingtong and ended up being crippled. But even so, the way she looked at Luo Qingtong was as if she wanted to eat her up. "I don't agree. Shut up." The beast tamer King Guguju's expression turned cold. Of course, he was heartbroken that his daughter had become like this. But compared to his own strength, it was not worth mentioning at all. He must obtain Luo Qingtong's beast-taming incantation. He could not let Fang Jingyu ruin his plans. "Shut up. It was you who wanted to snatch Night Eye's little silver fox that caused this misunderstanding. Now that your spiritual power has been crippled, you don't even know how to regret it. You're simply unreasonable," he said coldly. "Father." Fang Jingyu looked at the beast-tamer King Guguju in disbelief. He actually scolded her. And in front of so many people. What was going on? How could this be? Just as she was in disbelief, the Grand Elder's voice rang out at this moment. "Your father is right. Jingyu, you were in the wrong before." Chapter 1884. This is also our compensation to her. Don't question it. The Grand Elder's words contained a hidden warning. In an instant, Fang Jingyu's eyes widened. Beast tamer. The other party was actually a beast tamer. She finally knew how her mental strength had been crippled. It wasn't because something on Luo Qingtong's body had done something to her. Instead, it was because she had failed to forcefully form a contract. Fang Jingyu's figure staggered back 2 steps. Beast Tamer King Guguju and the Grand Elder's attitude made her understand that Luo Qingtong, this beast tamer, was definitely not simple. She was afraid that the beast tamer art she cultivated was extremely powerful. That was why the two of them were so protective of her. Thinking of this, Fang Jingyu's heart was completely unable to accept it. The other party had caused her to be in this state, and in the end, she actually had to respect her and stay away from her. Even if it was only temporary, she still couldn't. Her heart was filled with extreme hatred. Both her hands were fiercely pinching her palms as she coldly said, "Even if it's like this, she can't completely break the rules. New official disciples must enter the beast garden to serve for a month. Even if I'm wrong this time, she should enter the beast garden to serve for a few days. Otherwise, wouldn't it be unfair to the other disciples?" The beast garden, the contracted demonic beasts of the beast tamer King's Valley were all locked up inside. Working there was simply a hard job. Generally speaking, the disciples who had caught the eye of the various elders would only go through the motions when they entered the sect. Only the other ordinary new official disciples needed to do things inside. It was dirty and messy inside, the demonic beasts were wild, and sometimes even accidents would happen. Fang Jingyu knew that beast tamer King Guguju and the rest would definitely not let anything happen to Luo Qingtong inside. But this didn't mean that she couldn't teach her a lesson. Anyway, it was fine as long as she didn't kill her. In short, she wasn't willing to let Luo Qingtong off so easily. All right. Knowing Fang Jingyu's thoughts, beast tamer King Guguju and the rest nodded and didn't continue to refuse. First of all, they didn't really want to protect Luo Qingtong. Instead, they wanted to obtain her beast-taming secret art from her. Secondly, Fang Jingyu's mental strength had been crippled. There was no way they wouldn't let her vent her anger. In the end, if it wasn't for Luo Qingtong's special situation where she didn't know that he was a beast tamer and didn't know his beast tamer technique, beast tamer King Guguju and the others wouldn't have been so polite to her. They had already found a crime to arrest her and interrogate her under torture. After all, Fang Jingyu was on their side, and Luo Qingtong was just an outsider. Since she had offended the other party, the beast tamer King Guguju and the others naturally wouldn't let her off. Just like just now, if Luo Qingtong hadn't exposed her identity as a beast tamer King Guguju might have crippled her on the spot. He didn't care if Fang Jingyu was the one who brought this upon herself. Naitai. This has always been the rule of our beast-taming King Valley. Every official disciple has to enter the beast garden to serve at the beginning. After beast tamer King Guguju agreed, he looked at Luo Qingtong and said, "Although I'll compensate you and let you enter my sect, you still have to abide by the rules. How about this, you don't have to enter for a month. You can enter for 7 days. How about it?" Beast tamer King Guguju naturally wouldn't let Luo Qingtong enter for a month. Chapter 1885. How much time would this waste? 7 days was already the limit he could accept. However, his words were very skillful. In other people's ears, it sounded like he was thinking for Luo Qingtong, so he reduced the time. If it was someone else, they might be deeply grateful to him and be dead set on following him. But the one standing here was Luo Qingtong. She sneered as she looked at the beast tamer King Guguju acting, but she didn't care. The other party wanted to use her, and she also wanted to use the other party. Luo Qingtong couldn't be bothered to continue entangling with Fang Jingyu. "Okay, thank you Valley Master." Luo Qingtong pretended to be very happy. The beast tamer King Guguju nodded in satisfaction. The other party was very naive, which was very good. Thinking about it, it wouldn't be long before he could find out the secret of her beast tamer art from the other party. In the end, the birthday party ended up in a mess and desolation. Fang Jingyu became the biggest joke. During the birthday banquet, the demonic beast she was supposed to contract died. Not only that, her spiritual power was also crippled. In the future, it would be impossible for her to contract demonic beasts and become a beast tamer. In the beast tamer King Valley, if she couldn't become a beast tamer, it meant that her status would drop. Even if Fang Jingyu was the daughter of the Valley Master, she found that the gazes of the people around her were not right. In the past, these people looked at her with envy and respect. Now, they were all gloating and complacent. The only respect left was not directed at her. It was because she had the Valley Master as her father. Bang! In the room, Fang Jingyu ruthlessly smashed the furnishings in her room. She angrily looked at the maid beside her like a ferocious demon. "Where's that bitch? Did she go to the beast garden?" Fang Jingyu was very angry in her heart. She had become like this, all because of Luo Qingtong. Wait until she went to the beast garden, see how she would deal with her. Already prepared to go. Do you want me to rush her? The maids serving Fang Jingyu were very submissive. After Fang Jingyu's mental strength was crippled, she became extremely temperamental. She was suffering unspeakably and desperately wanted to escape from this place. Humph. Go. Fang Jingyu's voice was cold. When she gets there, come back and tell me immediately. Also, call the manager of the beast garden over. At that time, she would definitely let Luo Qingtong have a good taste of it. Yes. The maid hurriedly left. At this time, in Luo Qingtong's room, she looked at the girl in front of her. You're leaving. Yunxi had come to say goodbye to her. She wanted to leave Beast Taming King Valley and return home. Yes. Yunxi nodded. The girl in white was very pure and beautiful. She looked helpless. I can't stay here anymore. After the birthday party, all kinds of people came to make trouble for her. Yunxi knew that it was because she had stood up for Luo Qingtong at the birthday party. Previously, these were all good things, and they were things that could make her proud. But after Luo Qingtong offended Fang Jingyu, these things became reasons for others to deal with her. Those people didn't dare to deal with Luo Qingtong, but they wanted to curry favor with Fang Jingyu, so they could only deal with her. However, Yunxi didn't blame Luo Qingtong. After all, it was her own choice to stand up for Luo Qingtong. Chapter 1886. Okay. Luo Qingtong nodded. She probably knew why Yunxi couldn't stay any longer. It was most likely because of what happened between her and Fang Jingyu. I've implicated you this time. Plans couldn't keep up with changes. Luo Qingtong didn't expect so many things to happen at a birthday party. But it was good that the other party left. After all, she didn't know what would happen next. Luo Qingtong didn't care, but Yunxi might lose her life in the future if she got involved with her. She handed a black package to Yunxi. Take this and open it when you get home. What Luo Qingtong gave Yunxi was the Beast Taming King Valley manual that she found on Han Dong's body when she killed him. People who didn't have the talent to be a beast tamer couldn't practice this book. But Yunxi had it. Luo Qingtong gave this to her, which made up for her regret of being expelled by the people of the Beast Taming Valley. After all, Han Dong was the disciple of the Beast Taming Valley's Gu Guzhu. He was a core disciple of the Beast Taming Valley. The beast taming cultivation method that he cultivated was the best kind. If Yunxi had stayed in the beast taming valley, even if the elders took a fancy to her, the level of the beast taming technique she practiced would never be as good as the one Luo Qingtong found on Han Dong. Of course, the one on Han Dong wasn't complete. But Luo Qingtong had the blood eyes, and she had already made up for it. In addition, she gave Yunxi some pills for improvement. It could also be considered as repaying her for helping him before but being implicated. Luo Qingtong handed these things to Yunxi. Yunxi didn't know what these things were, and she didn't want them at first. But Luo Qingtong said that she would regret it if she didn't want them. She hesitated for a moment, then accepted them. She didn't have much time to spend with Luo Qingtong. But Yunshi felt that the other party had a majesty in her words and actions, which made people subconsciously want to obey her orders and believe in her. You must not be an ordinary person, right? She looked at Luo Qingtong. Someone from a first-rate sect? She asked tentatively. Luo Qingtong looked at her with a faint smile. No, I am someone from the true Spill Continent's mortal world. How is this possible? Yunshi rolled her eyes. She didn't believe her at all. Forget it. If you don't want to tell me, I won't ask you. Thinking that Luo Qingtong didn't want to reveal her identity and origin, Yunshi didn't ask any more questions. She took the black bag and stood up. Be careful, Fang Jinyu definitely won't let you off easily. Don't worry when you go to the Beast Garden. Okay. Luo Qingtong nodded. Then, she felt a little helpless. She was speechless that no one believed her when she told the truth. Yunshi left the beast-taming King's Valley on the same day. Because she had already received orders, no one stopped her when she left. Otherwise, with her talent among the new disciples that was not weak, it was reasonable to say that she would not be allowed to leave. But those who had bullied Yunshi had intended to force Yunshi away. They wanted to take revenge on Luo Qingtong, and it would be too late for her to regret. Thus, Yunshi easily left the beast-taming King Valley. After Yunshi left, Luo Qingtong also entered the Beast Garden. This is the Beast Garden. From now on, you will eat and live here for 7 days. Take care of these demonic beasts. Luo Qingtong was led into a huge garden by the steward of the Beast Garden. Rather than a garden, it was better to call it a huge plain. There was a fence inside, and the fences formed a circle. The trees used to make the fence soared into the sky. Chapter 1887. These demonic beasts had blood-red eyes and were in an abnormally violent state. After Luo Qingtong and the steward entered, many demonic beasts roared violently. Even more demonic beasts crazily rammed against the fences, as if they wanted to escape. The scene was extremely frightening. Luo Qingtong followed the steward to a garden where top-level saint beasts were locked up. The demonic beasts inside were extremely violent and were at least at the Saint Emperor realm. They were all contracted beasts of the upper echelons of the beast-taming King Valley. As these contracted beasts roared loudly, the violent aura around them spread outwards along with their roars. With this kind of strength and power, the slightest carelessness could easily kill any disciple standing in front of them. Generally speaking, those who came to take care of these demonic beasts were the stronger core disciples of the beast-taming King Valley. For example, new disciples like Luo Qingtong who had just entered the beast-taming King Valley would usually take care of the contracted beasts of the disciples below them. But at this moment, Luo Qingtong was brought to this top-level beast garden by the steward of the beast garden. All of this should not have been in accordance with the rules. At this moment, the steward of the beast garden was looking at Luo Qingtong with a complacent expression, waiting for her to make a fool of herself and reveal an ugly expression as she begged for mercy. However, he was destined to be disappointed. Luo Qingtong only swept a glance at these demonic beasts and directly stepped into the garden. His actions were so direct and efficient that the manager of the beast garden was stunned when he saw it. Could it be that she didn't know that the strength of the demonic beasts in this garden was not something that she could challenge? Thinking of this, the steward of the beast garden suddenly said loudly, "The demonic beasts in this garden are all at the Saint Emperor realm and above. Under normal circumstances, they are all taken care of by the core disciples. Since you are the Valley Master's last disciple, you are naturally different from the rest. You should be able to deal with these demonic beasts, right?" He deliberately said this for Luo Qingtong to hear, to let her know how terrifying these demonic beasts were. However, Luo Qingtong only glanced at him indifferently and did not react at all, directly walking into the garden. Bastard! The steward's expression was flustered and exasperated. He did not believe that Luo Qingtong was not afraid. He wanted to see how she would piss her pants in terror when she came out later. However, he waited outside for a long time and did not even see Luo Qingtong's shadow. In the end, he had no choice but to leave in a flustered and exasperated. And after Luo Qingtong entered the garden, she started to wander around. Yi Luo Qingtong, and Luo Qingtong. Luo Qingtong's Luo Qingtong. Luo Qingtong, Luo's Luo Qingtong, Luo Qingtong, Luo Tong, to Luo Qingtong, Luo on to Luo. Yi Qianming, who had turned into Silver Bow, called out softly. That was because the one standing here was this woman. If it was anyone else, no matter how talented they would have been scared to death in the face of so many ferocious demonic beasts. They would have cried and screamed to leave this place. By then, Fang Jingyu would be in for a good show. Furthermore, the other party would definitely have other moves. Chapter 1888. Ha, it's fine. Luo Qingtong hugged it and kissed it. Then she put it down and said with a calm and satisfied expression, let her play however she wants. Let's just take it as a good trip to relax. She and Yi Qianming hadn't been alone like this for a long time. In this beast garden, apart from those wild and unsightly contracted beasts, the scenery was quite beautiful. Since Fang Jingyu wanted to deal with her, then she would anger her to death. Ow! Yi Qianming responded softly and didn't pay much attention. At this moment, Fang Jingyu received the report and broke the armrest in her hand. What did you say? She didn't react at all. Not scared. Scared? Fang Jingyu's face was filled with anger. She brought Luo Qingtong over so that she could embarrass her and teach her a lesson. How could the other party not react at all? Fang Jingyu's face was filled with rage. She didn't hold back at all as the aura in her body exploded out. All right. Jingyu. Seeing the trembling body of the beast garden manager who came to report, the beast tamer King Gu Guzhu blocked her aura with a solemn expression. You shouldn't be in a hurry to deal with her at this time. The her he was referring to was naturally Luo Qingtong. Wait until we get the beast tamer spell in her body. Then you can do whatever you want with her. Why make things difficult for her now? He frowned. But I can't stand it. Father. Fang Jingyu clenched her fingers. Who knows when you'll get the beast tamer spell in her body? Moreover, who knew if Luo Qingtong's strength would become even more powerful with the help of the beast tamer spell? At that time, who would be more important, the daughter of the Valley Master whose mental strength had been crippled, or Luo Qingtong, the beast tamer master with unlimited potential? At that time, her father might not even bear to hurt Luo Qingtong. Thinking of this, Fang Jingyu's heart was filled with hatred. The most painful thing in the world was that your enemy was right beside you, but you couldn't kill her directly. Father, my spiritual power has already been crippled. Don't you even give me a chance to vent? Fang Jingyu cried. I just want to teach her a lesson. Aren't you going to let me do this? Forget it, do as you wish. The beast tamer King Gu Guzhu looked at Fang Jingyu's tear-stained face and frowned. He was also furious that his daughter's spiritual power had been crippled. However, for the sake of Luo Qingtong's beast-taming incantation, he had no choice but to endure. If his daughter wants to teach him a lesson, then so be it. At most, they could just watch from the side. Rush out at the critical moment and don't let Luo Qingtong die. At that time, he might even be able to receive an even stronger gratitude from her. It was very useful for their future plans. He nodded at Fang Jingyu. Good. Thank you, Father. Fang Jingyu's tears turned into a smile, but the coldness in her eyes was unusually cold. She only wanted to teach Luo Qingtong a lesson. However, if the other party died because of this, she couldn't be blamed, right? Thinking of this, she turned to look at the steward of the beast garden and said, "Did you hear what my father said? You should know what to do, right? Night I want to see her appear in front of me in tears. Don't be afraid of killing her." Her words had a double meaning. My father and the others will save her, HM. Her expression was fierce. Chapter 1889. As for Luo Qingtong and Yi Qianren, after strolling around the beast garden for a while, they started taking care of these demonic beasts. To put it bluntly, they were innocent. Since Luo Qingtong was here, she wouldn't ignore them and let them starve and freeze. At the same time, she could also relax her mood. Since she came to this world, she hadn't really let go of her heart and enjoy anything. With Yi Qianming by her side and the 9-layer exquisite pagoda in her body, Luo Qingtong wasn't afraid of anything happening in the beast garden. "Qianming, give me that handkerchief." Luo Qingtong prepared food for the beasts. After she stirred all the food and prepared it, she asked Yi Qianming to give her a handkerchief to wipe her sweat. The latter walked beside her with his head held high and originally didn't want to pay attention to her. But when he saw the faint sweat on her forehead, he stopped in his tracks and suddenly appeared in front of a clean handkerchief. He bit the handkerchief and dragged it down. However, his body was small and just as he dragged the handkerchief down, Yi Qianming was wrapped up by the handkerchief. The round figure rolled in the air and fell into the grass in an instant. When Luo Qingtong heard the sound, she saw him struggling desperately in the handkerchief. Pfft! Luo Qingtong looked at him and couldn't help but laugh. This man was really... Luo Qingtong tried hard to suppress the laughter in her heart and quickly ran over to rescue Yi Qianming from the handkerchief that was tightly wrapped around him. The latter's cute fox face was black from the moment he came out. Yi Qianming felt that all the dignity and coldness in his life had been destroyed by this demon fox blood curse. After this, he would never turn into a little fox again. Absolutely not. He was depressed and fiercely glared at Luo Qingtong. It was all because of this woman. Pfft, ha ha ha. Luo Qingtong was trying hard to hold back her laughter. But now she couldn't hold it in and immediately fell to the ground laughing. Oh my, luckily Bei Qing and Feng you weren't here. Otherwise, Yi Qianming's reputation would be ruined. She fell on the grass. Yi Qianming saw her laughing so wildly and immediately gritted his teeth and pounced on her. Let this woman laugh at him. Hey hey hey. Don't, it tickles. Luo Qingtong was tickled by him. The little fox's little teeth were not lethal at all. Luo Qingtong felt itchy as he grinded a piece of meat in his mouth. The two of them fell to the ground, laughing. After a while, Luo Qingtong's eyes. Boom! She sat up abruptly. At the same time, Yi Qianming's figure was also in her arms. Boom boom boom. The moment Luo Qingtong got up, the entire beast garden seemed to shake violently. In the garden where Luo Qingtong was, fences rose up one after another. Quick! Run quickly! The fences in the beast garden are out of control. There was a faint sound of panic coming from outside. However, the light in Luo Qingtong's eyes was extremely cold. Out of control. Whether it was because they had lost control or because some people had done it on purpose, only they themselves would know. Luo Qingtong's eyes were cold and directly flew up with Yi Qianming. Chapter 1890. Swoosh! Luo Qingtong's figure dashed out of the beast garden. However, at this moment, she was in this top-notch beast garden. In mid-air, the figure of a defensive barrier suddenly appeared, and dazzling light blossomed in all directions. Rumble! As the defense shield of the beast garden appeared in mid-air, Luo Qingtong's plan to hide outside fell through instantly. Yi Tong! The beast garden is out of control. I'll immediately report to the valley master and the rest. The demonic beasts here are precious, we can't afford to lose any of them. Stay here first, we'll come to save you very soon. The voice of the steward came from outside. When Luo Qingtong heard this, a cold glint flashed in her eyes, and she instantly smiled. Interesting, Fang Jingyu and the rest really did a flawless job. The beast garden was out of control, and the demonic beasts here were precious, they couldn't afford to lose any of them, so they locked her up here. If she was a real probationary disciple, even if she didn't die this time, she would be half dead. However, she wasn't. Luo Qingtong's lips curled up slightly, but she wasn't in a hurry to leave. Her actions just now were only to confirm what Fang Jingyu and the rest wanted to do. She didn't really want to escape. She had to put on an act, wasn't that right? Rumble. The deafening sounds all around became more and more intense. Luo Qingtong's gaze swept the surroundings, only to see that after the fences rose, the demonic beasts inside all raised their heads. Pairs of bloodshot and ruthless eyes stared closely at Luo Qingtong's direction. At this moment, Luo Qingtong was the only one left in the entire beast garden. Bang bang bang. Those demonic beasts stepped out of their respective cages. The entire beast garden was filled with the figures of demonic beasts. At this moment, Fang Jingyu received the news from the people in the beast garden, and instantly laughed heartily. Good. Very good. Luo Qingtong was trapped in that top-notch beast garden. Even if she didn't die this time, she would be half dead. She was just waiting to see how unlucky she was to take revenge for being crippled. Fang Jingyu's eyes flashed coldly. And at this moment, in the beast garden, Luo Qingtong also faced these demonic beasts that had stepped out of their cages. Roar! These demonic beasts roared towards the sky and charged towards Luo Qingtong and Yi Qianming. Looking at their figures rushing over, Luo Qingtong's eyes flashed slightly. She released the suppressing aura of the ninefold exquisite pagoda in her mind, suppressing them in place. The aura of the group of powerful demon beasts was violent and wanton, but there was no way for them to approach Luo Qingtong. This was what Luo Qingtong had thought of when she came to the beast garden. He used the aura of the nine-layered exquisite pagoda to suppress these demonic beasts. This way, he wouldn't have to expose his strength and wouldn't put himself in danger. Otherwise, how could she fulfill Fang Jingyu's wish and come to this beast garden? The other party wanted to teach him a lesson, but he had no idea who would be the one to be taught a lesson in the end. Luo Qingtong's expression was indifferent. The aura of the nine-layered exquisite pagoda spread out around her, protecting her and Little Silver, who was transformed into by Yi Qianming. Not to mention that she could only hold on for a short period of time, even if she stayed here forever, she would still be fine. Rumble. Those demonic beasts couldn't get close to Luo Qingtong, so they immediately wreaked havoc on the plains, fighting against each other. Chapter 1891. Luo Qingtong narrowed her eyes. She remembered that when she saw Han Dong and the others controlling these demon beasts, they were also in the same state. There seemed to be something wrong. Luo Qingtong contracted Little Pig and Snowball, and also helped Siu contract Thunder Beast. Their contracted beasts were completely different from the contracted beasts of beast-taming King Valley. He couldn't tell before. But this will, Luo Qingtong frowned. With so many demonic beasts gathered together, she could tell that something was wrong. These demonic beasts seemed to have lost their minds. Was it because they were contracted by the beast-taming King's Valley? Luo Qingtong thought. The bloody light in her eyes flickered as she observed the bodies of these demonic beasts. Suddenly, she realized that there was a strange power swirling inside the bodies of these demon beasts. This mass of energy extended out from the bodies of these demonic beasts. Previously, when these demonic beasts were not attacking, this power could not be seen. Now that they were in attack mode, this power was immediately revealed. The invisible chains extended from those forces all the way to some unknown place in the void. Was this the reason why the beast tamers of the Beast Tamer King's Valley were able to control these demonic beasts? Luo Qingtong's eyes flashed, and she appeared in front of a demonic beast in a flash. She raised her hand and sent a stream of energy into the demonic beast's body, completely enveloping the energy that appeared. She did not cut off the connection between this energy and the void. If he were to sever the connection, the beast tamer that the demonic beast belonged to would be able to sense it. By then, he would be in deep trouble. Before achieving her goal of entering Beast Taming King's Valley, Luo Qingtong didn't want to act rashly and alert the enemy. Boom! After she wrapped up the ball of energy, the demonic beast's eyes suddenly flashed and became clear again. Roar! It raised its head to the sky and let out a long howl. It looked around in a daze and then became angry. Sure enough, it was like that. Seeing the changes in the demon beast's eyes, Luo Qingtong's eyes flashed. The contract with the Beast Taming King Valley actually caused these demonic beasts to lose their minds. Could it be because of this that they were able to control the demonic beasts? Luo Qingtong was lost in her thoughts when suddenly, an intermittent voice sounded in her mind. You can help us recover our sanity. Luo Qingtong raised her eyebrows and looked around. At this moment, a sharp howl was heard. Then, a huge figure rose from the sky in the distance and swept over here. Boom! It was a huge golden-winged condor. The feathers on his body lit up like sharp golden arrows. It was as if any one of his feathers could cut open the sky. Holy Venerable Realm. A peak holy venerable demonic beast. She didn't stop Yi Qianming because of the golden-winged great eagle's words. This man was venting his anger for her. She wouldn't interfere. And who knew if the golden-winged great eagle was telling the truth? If Yi Qianming hadn't come out, it was unknown if the other party would have apologized. Boom! After a few breaths, Yi Qianming retracted his aura. And the group of holy venerables demonic beasts were all pushed 100 meters away by him. Just stand there and talk. Yi Qianming's eyes were cold. Chapter 1893. Yes. The golden-winged condor and the rest of the monsters nodded. Yi Qianming's strength was fully displayed in the aura just now. He could completely crush them. They had no choice but to treat him with respect. Yi Qianming glanced at them coldly and didn't say anything. His figure disappeared in mid-air again and turned into the silver fox, jumping into Luo Qingtong's arms. The people from Beast Taming King Valley could come at any time, so his original form was inconvenient. Yi Qianming was half lying in Luo Qingtong's arms, looking very cute. But after seeing how powerful the other party was, the group of Saint Venerable monsters didn't dare to underestimate her. Even towards Luo Qingtong, they were respectful. Honorable One. The golden-winged condor looked at Luo Qingtong and nodded. Seeing that it was struggling to speak, Luo Qingtong directly said to it, "Release your defense." As she spoke, she released her aura. The golden-winged condor saw the aura released by Luo Qingtong and its eyes flashed. It immediately released its defense. The light entered its body and wrapped the aura of the beast taming art in its body. In an instant, the golden-winged condor's eyes became clear. It looked at Luo Qingtong with surprise. "Thank you, Honorable One. I didn't expect you to be able to help us regain our consciousness." After the golden-winged condor, the group of Saint Venerable monsters were also very excited. They were controlled by Beast Taming King Valley and their consciousness had always been muddled. But ever since they advanced to Saint Venerable Realm, they didn't want to be controlled anymore. Their figures surged, wanting to rush towards Luo Qingtong. But when they saw the silver fox in Luo Qingtong's arms, their surging aura and figures stopped again. They hesitated and didn't dare to move forward. They looked at Luo Qingtong with eager eyes, giving her a lot of pressure. I didn't break the connection of the contract. I just temporarily blocked the influence of the contract on you. When my power is exhausted, you will still be controlled by the contract, she said to the group of monsters. When the latter and the others heard this, they were instantly disappointed. Can you help us get rid of the contract? The golden-winged condor said in a deep voice. No. Luo Qingtong shook her head. Her strength was still not enough. Even if she used the heaven and earth contract, it would be impossible for her to contract so many demonic beasts. The only possibility was the 9-layered exquisite pagoda. However, if being in the 9-story exquisite pagoda was enough to cut off the contract, and it would be restored after coming out, then what was the point? Luo Qingtong's words caused all the demonic beasts present to be stunned. Forget it. The golden-winged condor smiled bitterly. Anyway, it's been so many years. It's good enough that I can get a moment of clarity. Its words caused all the demonic beasts present to feel a burst of sorrow. After the golden-winged condor finished speaking, it immediately looked at Luo Qingtong and asked, "Why have you appeared in this beast garden? Ordinary disciples aren't willing to come here, but when the high-level disciples come, the unlucky ones are all killed by us. Did you offend someone to be brought here?" "Yes. I crippled Fang Jingyu's spiritual power." Luo Qingtong's expression was indifferent. To be precise, he crippled it. As she spoke, she raised her hand and pointed at Yi Qianming in her arms. Hearing this, the golden-winged condor was stunned and then laughed. Chapter 1894. It turned out that this golden-winged condor was the contracted beast of the beast tamer King Guguju. No wonder it was the strongest one here. All the demon beasts in the Holy Venerate realm looked up to it. At this moment, when it heard Luo Qingtong's words, it was very happy. Although it couldn't break the contract, it was already very good to be able to hear such satisfying news. That's not right. The golden-winged condor smiled and suddenly thought of something. You crippled Fang Jingyu's mental strength, but the father and daughter didn't kill you. It was a little surprised. The condor's expression was very strange. With the Fang father and daughter's vengeful nature, how could Luo Qingtong only be sent to the beast garden after crippling Fang Jingyu's mental strength? And this clearly wasn't Yi Qianming's credit. Because if he did it, how could the Fang father and daughter still dare to punish Luo Qingtong? And the change just now, the fences that imprisoned them were all raised. It was obvious that someone deliberately did it to deal with Luo Qingtong. If they knew of Yi Qianming's existence, how could they still dare to do it? The golden-winged condor thought and looked at Luo Qingtong in surprise. The latter smiled, because they thought he was my contracted beast. She glanced at the silver fox in her arms as she said this. The golden-winged condor felt strange when it heard this. The Fang father and daughter were really looking for trouble. They actually thought this was their contracted beast. No wonder Fang Jingyu's mental strength was crippled. The golden-winged condor had already guessed the reason. The other party probably wanted to forcefully snatch the contract with Yi Qianming. And Fang Qing thought that Luo Qingtong's beast-taming art was very advanced. This golden-winged condor had already cultivated to the point where it was old and experienced. At its strength and realm, although it couldn't transform, its thoughts were no different from a human's. With that thought in mind, it muttered, "Serves him right." No wonder the father and daughter didn't touch Luo Qingtong. So it was because of this. When the golden-winged condor spoke, Luo Qingtong just smiled. Suddenly, she thought of something and said to the golden-winged condor, "Senior, you are the contracted beast of the beast tamer King Guguju. I want you to help me ask the contracted beasts around here. Did the beast taming King's Valley hunt down someone called Luo Jinghong more than 10 years ago? Luo Jinghong. Never heard of it. Hearing this, the golden-winged condor asked the beasts in beast language. Seeing that they all shook their heads, it immediately said to Luo Qingtong. Oh. Luo Qingtong looked slightly disappointed, but she didn't say anything. It's very likely that Luo Jinghong didn't specifically mention your name when he was being hunted back then. Chapter 1895. Senior, please tell me. Luo Qingtong says. Okay, that's no problem. The golden-winged eagle nods. Everyone who has a grudge against the beast-taming King Valley is their friend. Not to mention that Luo Qingtong can also restore their consciousness. Although it's only temporary, it's already very good for them who have been muddle-headed for a lifetime. It then told him the location of the booklet. The booklet is in the Hidden Scriptures Pavilion in the back of the beast-taming King Valley. It's in a secret compartment on the 13th floor on the top floor. The golden-winged eagle tells the specific location of the booklet and how to hide it. When you get there, you must not open the secret compartment first, but knock on the side. This way, the Hidden Scriptures Pavilion's reaction to the booklet will completely disappear. Otherwise, once you open the booklet, even if you don't take it out, Fong Qing and the others will be able to sense it. At that time, you will be discovered. It carefully warns Luo Qingtong. This involves a very small trick. Without a mechanism, ordinary people won't be able to discover it. The golden-winged eagle knows this because it's with the beast-taming King Guguju. If it's someone else, even if they find the booklet, they will be discovered before they can open it. And there's a very small restriction on the booklet. If you don't follow the fixed procedure, then the booklet will automatically burn the moment it's taken out or opened. At that time, the person who stole the booklet won't be able to get anything, let alone peek at the secrets inside. Okay. Thank you, Senior. Luo Qingtong smiles and thanks. Fong Jingyu has helped her a lot this time. In order to repay her, Luo Qingtong feels that she should also give her a good surprise. As for these demon beasts, Senior, don't worry. I heard that the booklet also records a lot of secrets of the beast-taming King Valley, including the beast-taming arts. I will seriously study it. If I find something, I will definitely help you break the contract. Luo Qingtong says to the golden-winged eagle. Good. Thank you, Your Excellency. The golden-winged condor said to Luo Qingtong happily. If someone else had told it that, it definitely wouldn't have believed them. However, Luo Qingtong had temporarily restored their consciousness before. It trusted Luo Qingtong's words very much. As the man and beast spoke up to this point, there was suddenly a commotion outside the beast garden. It's Fong Cheng and the others. The golden-winged condor sensed for a moment, then said with a cold face. Luo Qingtong raised her eyebrows. Beast Tamer King Guguju and the others are here. Fong Jingyu should be here too, right? Luo Qingtong knew that Beast Tamer King Guguju and the others were reluctant to let her die. At the very least, he wouldn't be willing to do so before he obtained the so-called beast-taming incantation. Therefore, after delaying for a while to let himself be taught a lesson, he rushed over. As for Fong Jingyu, she had single-handedly planned all of this. They would definitely come to watch the show and see how miserable he was. Luo Qingtong's eyes turned slightly, and she quickly had an idea. Senior, do you want to teach Beast Tamer King Guguju and the others a lesson? The golden-winged condor's eyes suddenly lit up. Of course. You have a way. Its eyes lit up as it looked at Luo Qingtong. If the girl had a way, that would be great. They dreamed of killing the group of people from the beast-taming King Valley. Chapter 1896. Wait. When the golden-winged eagle thought of this, its eyes suddenly lit up. Didn't Luo Qingtong temporarily shield them from the restrictions of the contract? Could it be? Sure enough, just as it was thinking, Luo Qingtong smiled and spoke. Senior, have you forgotten that I can shield you from the effects of the contract? If you do this, Luo Qingtong whispered her plan into the golden-winged eagle's ear. The latter flapped its wings excitedly. Good, good, good. We'll do as you say. But, won't this implicate you? It looked at Luo Qingtong and asked. It's fine. This is what I need you to do. It won't implicate you. And, it'll be a great help to me. Luo Qingtong looked at it and smiled. Good, good, good. Since Luo Qingtong said so. The golden-winged eagle naturally wouldn't say anything else. Thinking of what would happen next, it rubbed its fists and palms. Then let's quickly start now. It couldn't wait to say. The beast tamer King Guguju and the others were outside. If they missed this opportunity, there might not be a second one. Okay. Luo Qingtong smiled. She waved her hands, and waves of energy shot out, entering the bodies of the group of holy venerables in front of her. The beasts already knew what to do next from the golden-winged eagle's explanation in beast language. The beasts were all very excited. This was something they had dreamed of doing. They let go of their defenses, allowing Luo Qingtong's energy to enter their bodies. However, in an instant, the effects of the contract in their bodies were blocked by Luo Qingtong. The group of Saint Venerable Realm demonic beasts had completely regained their consciousness. The young girl smiled and said, "Then everyone, get ready. The show was about to start." Swoosh! In the sky, the beast tamer King Guguju and the others quickly flew across the sky. Fang Jingyu followed behind them, her face full of reluctance. The beast tamer King Guguju and the others came too quickly. In Fang Jingyu's opinion, it would be better if he came later. It would be best if Luo Qingtong was already dead by the time they arrived. However, if they went over now, Luo Qingtong would most likely die. After all, she had secretly ordered people to remove the fences around the Holy Venerate Realm demonic beasts. At that time, he would just say that it was a mistake. Fang Jingyu sneered. She wasn't so stupid as to leave a scourge like Luo Qingtong alive. What if the other party grew stronger and couldn't be eliminated? Her spiritual power had already been crippled. No matter how powerful the beast-taming art was, what did it have to do with her? On the contrary, Luo Qingtong's death was in her best interest. Without the other party, he wouldn't have to worry about being oppressed by his enemy in the future and having to look at the other party's face every day. Thinking of this, Fang Jingyu's face was full of pride as she entered the beast garden with beast tamer King Guguju and the others. The beast garden's defensive barrier had already been activated. Beast tamer King Guguju and the others quickly rushed to the top-grade garden. As soon as they entered, they were shocked by the scene inside. Luo Qingtong was surrounded by a group of demonic beasts. Among them, there were many holy venerables. But the strange thing was, these demonic beasts didn't hurt her. They only looked at her with dazed expressions. The blood-red light in their eyes was still fierce, but they didn't rush forward to bite Luo Qingtong. It was as if they were being controlled by something. The beast tamer King Valley's higher-ups were shocked. Chapter 1897. There was nothing wrong with the contract, but these demonic beasts strangely didn't attack. Everyone was a little confused. Their contracts weren't forcibly taken away, so why did Luo Qingtong seem to be able to control their contract beasts? Hundreds of thoughts ran through their minds. But the beast tamer King Guguju and Grand Elder were pleasantly surprised. They looked at each other. Luo Qingtong's beast tamer art was probably more powerful than they imagined. Among these demonic beasts, their own demonic beasts were among them. Luo Qingtong could even control their contract beasts from a distance, which showed how powerful her beast tamer art was. While everyone was pleasantly surprised and bewildered, Fang Jingyu, who had just arrived, suddenly opened her eyes wide. She thought that even if she couldn't see the scene of Luo Qingtong dying without a burial ground, she should at least see her miserable and painful appearance. But she didn't expect to see Luo Qingtong unscathed. She suddenly opened her eyes wide, and almost instantly, she screamed. How is this possible? And when Fang Jingyu's voice sounded, the stalemate between Luo Qingtong and those demonic beasts seemed to have been broken by her scream. Valley Master, turning around and seeing the figures of the beast tamer King Guguju and the others, Luo Qingtong only had time to call out this one sentence, and then fell down with a pale face. Night Eye. The beast tamer King Guguju and the others hurriedly flew over to catch her, and at the same time used their contracts to control the contract beasts that were about to attack. None of them noticed it. The group of contract beasts behind them all had their eyes flickering, and surrounded them with incomparable coldness. Their encirclement firmly trapped the beast tamer King Guguju and the others. And the beast tamer King Guguju and the others were anxiously treating Luo Qingtong. It's just that her spiritual power was exhausted and she fainted. An elder of the beast taming King Valley said. Valley Master, did you see that? Luo Qingtong can actually control our contract beasts. The elder from the beast taming King Valley said excitedly. Her beast tamer art must be very advanced. And she must have just had a breakthrough. Valley Master, we can't miss this opportunity. Of course. Let's take her first. Let's go back together. However, the beast tamer King Guguju just say that, roar. Behind them, violent beasts roar. Then, the group of wholly exalted monstrous beasts soared into the sky and charged toward them. Oh no! Everyone's But their minds no matter how hard they tried SSSSSS and S's SST charge SSS S to T the of the TTT. They're still under Night Eye's control. He didn't know that the Paragon Realm demonic beasts were acting like this because Luo Qingtong had temporarily shielded them from the effects of the contract. He thought that Luo Qingtong's potential had erupted at the critical moment of life and death and had controlled them. Now that she had fainted, these demonic beasts had lost control. Of course, it was also possible that her previous control had cancelled out their contractual control over these demonic beasts. In short, these contract beasts no longer listen to them. You're tuning into the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.